Hello, welcome to episode 8, where we're building the chat app with Sockets.io. Um, a bad thing happened to me. I was coding on this and I lost the internet and I didn't realize I lost the internet. So I thought it was me. Anyway, I'll talk more about that later, but I tried to revert it back to what I was at. I freaked out. But anyway, this time we are going to display the avatars on the front end. We did send them to the front end, but we didn't display them. And if you're wondering how we display them, it's just a few lines of jQuery. Okay. Also, did I show you this? I added our merit badge for Node. I added our merit badge for MBM, NPM, and this is the merit badge for WebSockets. Because I honestly don't know what people mean when they say WebSockets if they don't mean Socket.io. Because I've heard these two used interchangeably. Anyway, enough of that. Let's code. Right here, I am. So this is my server. Let's start my server. Nodamon. And this one, I already, light server. Okay. So what we're going to do, I opened it twice. Now I just closed all of it. Nice. Control C. Actually, I didn't need to do that. I could have gone to localhost 3000, which is exactly what I want to show you that I can do. Did I show you this? I'm detaching this one. Actually, I'll do this one. I'm going to localhost 3000, and I totally showed you this already. I got all discombobulated when so I got two of these open up. Let me make them so they both fit on the screen at the same time. So here's how we're going to be testing this. I totally already showed you this. Stop saying that. Is we are going to have two of these open at once. But I can't remember what was I erased when I guess I should just watch from episode 7. Anyway, these are two different. It looks like it's just a copy of the same thing, but what's happening here is not what's happening here. Command Option I here, and Command Option I here. Okay, that doesn't prove anything. How about this? How about this? So refresh. See, I refresh this, and if I refresh it again, well, what's really going to drive it home, though, is, let me get rid of one of these. I'll just close it all the way for now. When we're going to put the avatars in here. We already have them here. See this array right here? We're going to make those display as pictures right along this column right here. And what that's going to do, the way this is going to be good to show two different ones, we're going to add a click event. So when I click one, it should disappear from here. But now when I put a message in, we're going to make it reappear here. So when we have two different ones open, if I click Nick Fury and the other one clicks Star-Lord, they're going to both disappear from us, but as we click them, you'll see better when it happens. So for right now, let's just look at this object we got right here. I remember doing this. So come on, grow. Okay. Anyway, there are 17 things in here. Well, 18 things counting 0. And each one of these is the URL to a picture, our avatars. So what we're going to do is, we could just render the, I'll do that first. Let's just, in our jQuery. So we wanted to, right when we say hi, we're probably going to change the name of that. We're getting this thing called data sent to us. And I want to, we're going to make it display. Oh, I made this once. Display the avatars, okay? And if you're wondering when I made it, it's when things went wrong. Okay, Danger Will Robinson. Do you know what branch I am in? I'm going to close this server, Control C. I'm on the master branch. Never, ever, ever code on the master branch, and now I have. So we're really quick going to commit this to the master branch, and then we're going to make a new branch. So I'm going to say git add dot git commit -m oops git checkout. What are we going to call this? Display avatars. Sound good? We got to put a -b in here because this is our first time making this. Switch to new branch, display avatars. Okay. The reason I had to commit with that little change first. Well, you said there was 2 changes because I think I did something before when I was freaking out. I had some CSS stuff, and the change was I put something in and then I took it out. Was the change that happened in here? But that happened off camera. All right, game on. Back to here. We're going to display the avatars, so we have to write something called display avatars. It's a function. I'm going to put it above this just because I don't want to have too much distance between this and this. It doesn't really matter if I have this function before post set message or after it, but I'm going to put it before. Display avatars. And we're going to send it this data. But remember, there's something on the data called avatars. Data dash avatars. Okay, so that we're just going to call these the Avs. I am from Denver, and the Avs are our hockey team, but since I'm not a hockey fan. And what this is it's an array of those images. We intentionally stored it as an array. So if it's an array, then there's something that you can do. The old way was to do a for loop, and you would go through this array with a for loop. But the new hotness for the big boys is you use a for each. Avs dot for each, and then the function happens in here. For each what? For each av. And if you don't, I'm gonna for a second I'm gonna do old school JavaScript so you can see what it's doing. Function av. So this is the callback function in the for each, and it's doing for each thing in the avs, and we're going to call one of them is one av for each av. So now back to the new hotness. Oh, by the way, see these parentheses? This will work, or this will work. Sometimes you want to have them there if you have more than one parameter. Because when you do a for each loop, there is a second parameter. If I needed the index, it would provide me with this. It would know to make this, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 as I stepped through. And if I had 2 parameters, I would need both of these parentheses. If I have just one parameter, that is optional. I used to put it there all the time because I thought I should, but now we don't. So that's what's happening right here, by the way. It's really function event, function data. These are callback functions, if that wasn't clear. This is an actual function. So this is a function with a callback function. And my syntax here is incorrect. Equals. So for each av, we're just going to say we're going to display it inside of. We had the avatar wrapper. Command C. Remember that? I'm going to display it inside of there. So So inside of that, we're going to append. And right now, if I just put we'll do a string. So I'm using the backticks because I'm going to put a variable in here. And right now I'm just going to put it in a piece. So we're not going to have a picture quite yet. We're just going to have the actual URL to the picture. And that would be $squigglies av. Saved it. Let's see if that works. Oh, that's right. I turned off my server when I did that. So light server. Close this one. Okay, and it's right here. See all of these? These, they came from the back end to the front end. They came from when we connected. As soon as the server felt us connect, it says, say hi to that guy. And I put these here. All right, now we're going to turn these into pictures. How do we do that? Well, we're still going to append something. I could type right in here what we're going to append, but it's going to be kind of long. So I'm going to make an element outside of that. I'm going to use backticks as well. So we're going to have a div it's going to append. And we're going to have to give this div a class name. And if you've noticed how I name classes, you're probably guessing that it's image wrapper. And inside of here, we are going to have an image. And the class here is going to be avatar dink dink image. And the source of it, we have to give it an address of what image we want, and that is right where we put our av. Okay, I'm going to show it to you now, but we're going to have to style this or it's going to be really ugly. Style this and style that. I'm going to hit Command C while I'm here. So let's go back here, refresh it. Nothing happened. And that is because I didn't say show element, or element, E-L-E-M-E-N-T. See, it's just showing one picture, and that's the first one is Nick Fury. So yeah, there he is. There he is. It's a little too big. So we got to bring that down. The way we're going to bring that down is I grab this class image wrapper. Later I'm going to grab avatar image. Let's go to our CSS. Dot Command V, that's the image wrapper. We're going to say the width. So we want the width because this is the parent element of the image wrapper is this column right here. Here, I'll zoom in. So this was so when I say 100%, it would talk about the space from here to here. I'm going to say, I don't know, 90% because I want to leave a little room on the edges. But the 90% won't talk about the top and the bottom. So the width is 90%. The height, and if I don't give it a height, it'll give me one, but each picture will give me a different height. So let's say the height is 20%. That way, 20 times 5 is 100. I can fit 5 pictures on there, and I'll have to scroll down to see the rest. So the margin, or padding? It's margin. We can say auto, but that, like I was trying to say a second ago, is just the left and the right. If I want to do top and bottom, I'm just going to say 3 pixels, which is actually 6 pixels because between each one will have the top of itself and the bottom of the other one. So it'll be 6 pixels separating it. So that might be too much. And that's probably going to put up less than 5 pictures on a page then. One more thing. So why is this top and bottom and why is this left and right? That is just the way it is. When you use margin, you can use 1, 2, or 3 parameters. If I use 1 parameter, it's going to give everything. Like if I did this, it would give 3 pixels on the left, right, top, and bottom. Command Z, Command Z. If I give 2, it says, okay, this is top and bottom, and this is left, right. If I give 3, it says, okay, this is top and bottom, and this is right, and that one's left. And if I go forward, it says it starts at the top and it goes around like a clock. Top, right, bottom, left. And that's just the way it is. You can Google it on, I would suggest W3C Schools if you want to learn more about that. Anyway, game on. Oh, that's the image wrapper. What about the image itself? Avatar image. So we're basically saying, if I don't, here, I'm going to do it with nothing there, just so you understand why I'm going to give this what I do. Okay. First of all, these are blocks and these are not circles. Second of all, you see that, hey, this is not showing very much. It's just because it's showing a piece of it. It's just showing a piece. So if I say, I want 100% to be between here and here and 100% between here and here, it's going to force everything into that. So how do I get that circle back? Really quick, I'm going to go to app.js and I'm going to go here. And I made a class earlier called circle. I also made one called border. There, we'll put them both on there. Back to main.css. Yeah. We just have to say width 100% and height 100%, and that should force everything in there into those are not going to be squares, they're going to be circles, and they should have a border on them. Let's see if that worked. Got to well, there's the pictures. That's working pretty good. Refresh. And it didn't take my circle or my border. That's bothering me. So let me make sure I did have something called a circle. Dot circle, border radius 50%. And what did I put in app.js? I said class image wrapper circle border. That's really what I want. Command C. Did I spell circle the same? Command V, Command S. Okay. And then I don't know why it's not working, so I'm going to inspect it. I'm going to inspect it. It's going to show me this element, and it's going to show me what classes this element has. The div class has a class of image wrapper and of circle. And I want circle on this, not on the image. Is that correct? Sure sounds right to me. Okay. Sorry to disappoint there. Let's see if this goes like this. Oh, there's missing something right here. One of our pictures didn't render. Another one, I think this was Baby Groot, and this was, who's missing? Spider-Man. Okay. I could troubleshoot that all day, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to say border radius 50%, and I'm going to guess it just doesn't like that. It just doesn't like that. Anyone? You know what happens when a lot of times I rewatch my videos and I just see myself make a mistake, like boom right there, and I just want to hurt myself. Div, closing div. All right, well, I'll just tell you though, I am not seeing my, it totally got the image wrapper class. The image wrapper with margin, it got all, but it just won't do that. All right, you guys don't want to watch me scratch my head, so I'll just get that next time. And in fact, are we done? Are we? I think so. So let's go to here. And which one of these? Control C. We are going to do git add dot and git commit -m added avatars, and And so my dilemma is I say when I'm happy with this, that's when I push it to GitHub, and I'm not happy with it because those are square pictures. But I think I'm going to push it to GitHub anyway. But don't push it from here. I'm going to switch to my master branch, git checkout master, and I'm going to say git merge. What did I call that? Display avatars. So I merged that in. So I'm probably not going to go to that display avatars branch. I could if I went right away, but if I wait too long, I think I told you this before, if I wait too long and I do some other branches, then I go back to that one, display avatars isn't going to have those changes. I could pull them in, but at that point, why don't you just make a new branch and it's easier. So now we need to, here's how I put this up in GitHub. Git push origin master. Oh, I was waiting for it to do something. By the way, when my internet went out, it didn't just go out at an inconvenient time. It rendered the first picture, which was round that time, but then it didn't render anything else. So I thought there was a mistake with something I did. But between it rendering this and rendering this, the internet went out. And for a long time, I was hunting around trying to figure out my error in my code. I was changing things. I was on the master branch. It was horrible. But I think I recovered well, except for those round pictures part, which I'm going to figure out off screen. So I will see you guys in episode 9.